Avdi, in this video, we are going to discuss what is logistics and supply chain management. Before I start that, let me kind of discuss few things with you. And in that discussion, I'm going to show you a series of pictures, and I want you to think about what could be the common thing that connects all these pictures together. So this is a laptop, cell phones, and these are old ones, of course. Um, that is Microsoft Zune. I used to have one, but Microsoft stopped supporting it. It's an MP3 dash video player, depending on the option you choose. The headphone I'm using, and then cases, this backpack you have, the water bottles, notepads, and so forth, right? All those things have some common things. I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings, so the books, the movies, Frank Sinatra, again, I like him. The house you buy or you will buy in the future, the couch in it, the TV, PlayStation. I think this is PlayStation probably 2 or 3. This Dixie Chicken, electric vehicle Chevy Volt, gas stations, and so forth. Now, these pictures seems to be disconnected from each other. Perhaps one or two of them has some kind of connection, but all of them has supply chain connection. So these products do not show up in the marketplace by themselves. Usually behind the scenes, we have these supply chain activities which make sure that we have all these products at the places we wanted to purchase them, at the prices hopefully we would like to buy, and so forth, right? So whether we realize there is supply chain behind everything or not, supply chain is there and working full speed to bring the product too close to us or deliver it faster, right? With that in mind, let's try to define what's the supply chain management, right? There are so many supply chain management and logistics definitions out there. The Fortune magazine defines it as overseeing the movement of goods from the customer's order through the production, storage, and distribution, right? And the book by Simke Levy et al. Defines it as a set of approaches utilized to efficiently integrate suppliers, manufacturers, warehouses, and stores so that merchandise is produced and distributed at the right quantities, to the right location, and at the right time in order to minimize the system-wide cost while satisfying service level requirements. Now, the service level requirements are very important because if you are not matching your customer expectation, you will not have a lot of businesses. Uh, and then when you are trying to match customer expectation, of course, if you spend a lot of money, certain things can happen. For example, you may have inefficient warehouse, but then if you ship everything next day air, then of course you can shorten the delivery time, but the consequences would be higher expense levels. For that purpose, we have to minimize the system-wide cost, right? So when we try to do business, we are trying to meet customer expectation. What we would like to also make sure that we are not, or we are having some concern about the system cost while doing all these activities. I like this definition more than the previous one because it clearly focuses on multiple aspects of supply chain management. For example, it says it efficiently integrates suppliers, manufacturers, and warehouses and stores. So that tells you that there are multiple parties involved in a supply chain, and also how important to have the right product, right location at the right time, right? So for those reasons, I prefer this definition over the earlier one, but there are other definitions as well, right? This is another definition. It says getting the right goods or services to the right place at the right time and in the desired condition at the lowest cost and highest return on investment. It has some similarity with the Simke Levy's definition. This time, it is not only the right quantity and so forth, it needs to be the right goods as well, right? If your customer is asking for product A, but if you deliver product B, then it is not the right thing, right? and also at the desired condition, right? If you deliver something broken, again, that's not going to be counted as high service. So these are the three definitions that I found. I'm sure you can find more, and that's going to be your first assignment. You are going to find three different logistics or supply chain management definitions and compare, contrast them, right? Now, finally, let's look into the supply chain structure in this video. So supply chain starts from the raw material and ends at final customer, right? So we have the raw material, we process them through facilities and then ship it to the retail stores or distribution centers and then retail stores. And finally, it is either delivered to the customer location or customer comes and picks it up from the store. In a supply chain like this, there are three main flows. The first one is the product flow. The product flows from raw material to the end customer, or you can say left to the right. And then the second one is the cash flow. Cash flow goes in the opposite direction of the product flow. That basically means whenever you buy something, you have to pay for it. So as a customer, when we buy something, we will pay to the store. Store buys it from distributors or manufacturers. They have to pay to the manufacturer. Manufacturer buy from their supplier, and they have to pay to their supplier. So that is the second cash flow. And then the third flow is the information flow. Unlike the earlier two, the third flow is bidirectional. So it goes in both ways. For example, when you buy something, let's say online, from Amazon or eBay, you are telling Amazon like what you want and then how many you want. That information goes to Amazon and then Amazon gives you some other information. For example, they may tell you whether that product is available. Can it be shipped immediately or not? Then when it is shipped, it tells you what is the tracking number, and then you can track the product throughout the delivery process. So that is the information Amazon or its partners are providing to you in terms of information. There is a fourth flow actually in a supply chain that I did not cover here, and it is not part of this class objective. It's called reverse logistics. You remember I said the product flows from raw material to the end customer, but sometimes product also flows the other way around. For example, when you return something, you take it back to the retail store. That is a reverse logistic activity. Or you send something for repair, or you do recycling. All those basically creates a fourth flow in a supply chain, but again, that is beyond this course.